You're listening to the Ella and Leland Show, brought to you by Gopher Recording Studio, www.gopherrecordingstudio.com. We're making dreams a reality. Good morning, Ella.
Good morning.
We're here on Saturday, April 22nd.
Yep.
And I tell you, that snow just won't give up, will it?
Groundhog.
That poor groundhog gets blamed for everything, don't he?
Yeah.
And it's not even his fault. He's probably out there like, why does everybody blame me? All I do is come out and see my shadow, don't see my shadow. I have nothing to do with the weather.
Actually, it just, they hold it up to the announcer's ear.
Right.
And then he picks a scroll, and one says 6 more weeks of winter or 6 more weeks till spring.
Yeah, so either way.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So it's very cold in studio today,
Yes.
isn't it? I came out and the power must went off at a time and
the heat turned up. It is now 43 degrees in here. It's warm.
we got our space heaters going, don't we?
Yeah.
Because I can't figure out the thermostat on this one thing, but that's the base heaters in here. So when I came out, Elle, you didn't know, but I came out here, there was a squirrel on the steps.
Yeah, there was another one when I went outside.
Did you chase it or were you too cold?
I was too cold.
So on this day, April 22nd in 1913, your great-grandma was born.
Yes.
Her name was Mabel Hinkleman and then Mabel Zupke.
Yes.
So that's kind of neat, right?
Yep.
That's a long time ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
But she lived to be 96, and she was blessed, and we're all blessed to have her as long as we did. That was 2009 she passed away.
Yeah.
So right before Leland was born. I mean, a couple months before he was born. Now, what I want to talk about today is just anything and everything. I think we do really good at that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, you can't see it, but the look on my daughter's face is like, huh?
Because you said right before, and then I got confused, and then I realized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good enough. Yeah. So, remember the other day when I asked you, I said, April showers bring
May flowers, but it's dandelions.
It's dandelions.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm a hero because I'm promoting the regeneration of honeybees.
Yeah.
And the existence of honeybees.
You know what me and Leland do?
What's that?
We pet the honeybees.
Well, good luck with that because I don't want to hear about it when you get stung. I got stung.
Oh, that's never happened when we do that.
Oh, it hasn't. I've never seen that. So if you happen to go pet a honeybee, could you guys take a video for me?
Sure.
I'm sure everybody would love to see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really soft.
Are they soft?
Yeah.
Are you sure they're honeybees or are you talking about bumblebees?
Honeybees.
I wouldn't pet a bumblebee.
Neither would I.
He'll sting you.
Most times those big bumblebees get stuck in my hair.
They get stuck in your hair?
Yeah.
It's time to cut your hair.
That's when it gets really scary because they don't want to go out. That happened to me when it was that Tuesday when it was like 90 degrees.
Oh,
I was on the trampoline and a horsefly flew into my hair because I accidentally jumped too close to it, and then it wouldn't get out of my hair, and it was mad at me.
So what's that, a week from last Tuesday it got to be 90 degrees?
It was a long time ago.
Well, not that long ago. But yeah.
Back in my day.
So anyway, they said it was going to warm up.
Yeah.
And it got warm.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw 90 degrees and I was outside. I was like, whoo, I was a little bit parched. I could go for some nice iced tea.
Yeah, but now it's cold. It's snowing.
It is cold again. Well, it's not. It's sunny today.
Yeah, but it was snowing a ton yesterday.
Well, but spring is going to be here. I think it's here. It just kind of said, not quite yet, right?
Yeah, we have to do this spring project in computer.
Yeah.
And it was listing facts about spring.
Uh-huh.
And one of them was, this season is neither too cold or too warm, or too hot, but very pleasant and breezy. This spring is not too hot or not too cold or too hot.
Well, it was hot on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That Tuesday, it was woo-wee.
Yeah.
So, what else have you done in school? I mean, I thought we'd talk about some of your school projects today.
Let's
school?
See.
So you have the ABC countdown, right?
There is. Wait, what day? On Monday there will be 23 days of school left.
Is that D-Day?
It's so boring. Directed drawing day. Why can't it just be drawing day? And then it says follow steps to draw something.
Oh my. Well, you should be happy that you're on 23 days of school left. Oh, yeah. Right?
Yeah,
Oh, yesterday you got to pet lambs.
I did. They were hair lambs. They looked like goats, but they weren't.
They were hair lambs? So what does that mean, short hair?
No, they shed, and they're a little bit smaller than regular ones. And
they still go back.
Yeah.
Right?
There are like groups of desks,
right.
And our group got one. And Kate R., a friend of mine,
right,
got to hold it, and the lamb did not like her. Every time she held it, it would kick and get really noisy.
You know, I need to check this out, but I know lambs or sheep and goats, they sound alike, but what's the difference? Is one meh and one's nah?
I don't know. But
I mean, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the kid that brought him in said that when they grow up, they're like dogs. They'll just follow you around and headbutt you.
Well, I don't want anything to headbutt me.
Like, gently, I'm pretty sure. Also, our teacher said, if any of you guys want to bring in a pet, just email me and we can make that happen.
All right, we'll take our dog down there, and they don't want to see our pets.
Yeah.
We did have a good amount of pets till the turtles got loose and the dog got the turtles.
Yeah.
And that didn't end so well.
Yeah. But
for the turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's like, I really wish we could have a therapy dog or an emotional support dog or pet in here. That would be so cool.
An emotional
support
dog. You know, we saw those that we went to Trav's Outfitter.
Mm-hmm. No, those aren't emotional support dogs.
Oh, those are... What are they?
I can't think of their names right now, but they help... Service dogs.
Oh, service dogs. What's the difference?
Service dogs have to go through a lot of training.
Okay.
And emotional support pets or animals, they just have to be there for you and make you feel good.
Oh. Yeah. Well, shoot, our dogs can do that.
Yeah.
They can even make you feel bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's this ad I saw recently. It's really cool because if there's a pet that you would like to be your emotional support animal, you can take a quiz, and then you can get a certificate, so you can bring that emotional support animal anywhere.
Right.
So that's pretty cool that they can do that.
Okay, I have a question off the top of my head. I was just thinking about this. If you had to pick a time in the 1900s, say 1910, 1920, 1930, 40, 50, and on, what decade would you want to live through? If you could choose.
In the 1900s, Oh
yeah, you weren't even born in the 1900s, weren't you?
No.
Yeah.
You know what younger me would say?
What
like
would...
kindergarten self?
Kindergarten.
1900. But
just
now,
1900. Yeah. Okay.
Or, no, younger me would choose like 1700.
Well, that's not an option.
I know. But... now maybe like 80s or 90s.
The 80s or 90s?
Yeah.
That's when I grew up.
Yeah. I think the 90s.
That's my bread and butter. Oh, 90s were good. 90s were a good time. I tell you what, I was young and free, and that was BC.
Yeah.
Before the children.
Children, yeah.
Yeah, it's not BK.
No.
Because then you think of BK, do it your way. Oh, is it have it your way? Anyway, we won't say what the commercial is to that, but you all know.
That ad lives rent-free in my head.
Rent-free, so it must be a good ad.
Yeah, it just lives rent-free in my brain.
Because that's all. When I was a kid. Back in my day, when I used to get up and get ready for school, right before the bus. Mm-hmm. They would have. My mom would have the radio on, your grandma, and it would go, bake. That's not it. Barkley Mayflower, moving supreme. Our first priority is your needs.
Yeah.
I still remember that. Rent free.
Yeah, the ad I'm talking about just lives rent free in my brain, rotting my brain cells.
Oh wait, that's it. But I bet you there's a special place you like to go eat.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh, yeah, well, it must be good because they got a catchy jingle, right?
Yeah. You know what? People want to ban fast food commercials.
Right.
In the U.S. because they think that it'll cause obesity and kids won't have a healthy life. But even if all of the kids in my class agreed with this statement. Even if I don't see the ad, I'm still going to want that food, and it's not going to change anything.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think ads have anything to do with it?
No, if they got rid of an ad, I would still want to eat fast food.
But what if you've never ate there before?
Well,
You'd go past a place and you'd be like, what's that?
Yeah. Because kids see around, I can't remember the numbers, but it was like a lot of fast food commercials per day.
I bet.
And kids only see about one healthy food commercial per week.
You know, if I had the budget for my GRS label, Go for Recording Studio, I could reach a lot of people, couldn't I?
Yeah.
We'd be pretty popular, I think.
And the other thing we were talking about with that discussion in our class was the obesity part, and that if they banned fast food commercials, there would not be a problem of obesity. And
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. And Miss Hovde, our teacher, was trying to explain to us what that meant, and then a kid in my class said, "Search Nick Avocado, all he eats is fast food." And then she searched a video, and he is obese, and he wasn't that big at the time because it was like 2 years ago, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's pretty skinny actually," and we're like, that was like 3 years ago. Click on the images, and I wasn't looking at the images at that time, but apparently there was an image of his with no clothes on. So.
Not appropriate, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I just had something. I'm getting older because I forget all this.
Yeah.
I forget all this, and I had something important to say, Ella. So you talk about something important. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Like what?
I don't know. We were just talking about who's his name? Nick Avocado.
Avocado. Yeah, I wouldn't watch him.
You wouldn't. Oh, I got it. Thanks for sharing that. So I watched a documentary on Netflix a couple years ago about a guy who just stopped eating healthy and all he ate was McDonald's for breakfast.
I saw him, but he's like really skinny too.
He is now because he gave it up. But after like 6 months, his liver started to shut down. Oh,
I was thinking of another guy.
Oh, just showing you how like don't eat all McDonald's because that's not good.
This guy
or Burger King or any kind of fast
healthy food.
Right.
But this guy ate McDonald's burgers for like over 50 years, and he's super skinny.
Over 50 years?
Yeah.
Put me on that diet.
Yeah.
So then I can be big and strong like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Right?
Because there's people on the internet who will eat McDonald's for 50 years straight. There are people that are trying to not eat any fast food for 30 days. It's a big mix.
I could do that because I do that all the time because we don't have fast food here in the big metropolis known as Will Lake, South Dakota. Pretty
big.
What is it? What do you think? It's 269 people?
I think so.
About that, give or take.
Yeah.
Give or take a birth or a death.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know from day to day, do you?
Yeah.
So, well, we're gonna shortly, I guess longer than I think. We will be coming up on a break. Is there anything small that you can talk about you did this week?
Well, we had a really big packet on the trail of tears. Oh, state testing. That's what we did.
State testing.
We had to do so much state testing. First, we started off with the short math quiz. That was not the best. Then the second math quiz was actually really fun. And then we had the short reading test, which was not fun. And then the long reading test, which I usually look forward to, but this time I didn't. And then we had a science test.
Okay, let's hear these sponsorship messages right now.
3,
2, 1. No. 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the Ella and Leland Show, brought to you by Gopher Recording Studio, www.gopherrecordingstudio.com. where we're making dreams a reality. You know, Ella, I know you don't think it is, but those state tests are very important.
Yes.
Because then they can tell what we're behind on.
Oh,
if it's math or science or.
And it depends on if the school is going to get a lot of money.
Well, I'm sure that has something to do with it too. But it's very important. That's
I know.
You are our future. You know that?
Yeah. Also, that one long reading test where you have to write a lot, I thought I was going to look forward to it because last year I got thunderstorms. But this year, my first question, it's only 2 questions, these usually.
Yeah.
And the first question was, there were 3 sources, and it said, which one of these sources is most useful for saving trees? The first one wasn't even about saving trees or like how many trees are cut down. It's only about how things are made from trees. The second one is all about cutting trees, and there's only one small paragraph of like 3 sentences.
You know what
even a paragraph.
You know what that makes me feel like?
What?
Putting on a flannel and grabbing an axe and going cutting down a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I had the last one, and it was all about saving trees in Costa Rica. So, and then the next question was, okay, write several paragraphs about how you can save trees. So I only had one source to use.
Right.
Because the other 2 weren't even about saving trees. So this one wasn't even that fair because...
Well, life's not fair.
Yeah, because last year it was just, okay, how many thunderstorms per year for like the first question. And then the next one was write several paragraphs about thunderstorms. And that gave me like probably 5 sources about thunderstorms, which was nice.
Cool. Well, what I want to say right now, I'm really super excited about our artist here at GRS Studios. Yes. And Emma Nicole has a song that she's just released. We've released it for her called You Were There.
Yes.
And it is an awesome praise and worship song. Go to Spotify, go to YouTube, go wherever you can and listen to that song because it is great. It is beautiful. And then we have Travis Dennison.
Yes.
That I've just currently we're working on a remake of Roll On Mississippi, a cover of that.
Yes.
And that's the old Charlie Pride song. So you got to check that out. I'm just excited.
Yes.
I'm just excited, and there's songs that I have to record in mine.
Yeah.
That I keep playing. I always say, I should record that someday, but I will. I'm gonna get that done.
Yes.
You know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good thing about GRS. Just let you know right now.
Yes.
Ella, now I want to ask you, do you have any spooky stories? Because people like spooky stories.
Let's see, crime or spooky story?
I like a crime story.
Okay, let me think here. I know some. Let me think of a good one. Would you like a girl in the 1800s through 1900s?
Yeah.
About that. A serial killer.
You bet.
Okay.
What kind of cereal?
This one is just not good because, so basically there was this girl, and she was a very smart young girl, and she was super smart, she was loving, and her older sister passed away. So nobody was able to take care of her mother, and her mother had like this very bad disease, and she would get all angry and stuff like that.
Dementia.
It wasn't dementia, but anyways. And then her younger sister passed away, so it was only her and her mom. And then her mother passed away.
She sounds like the killer right off, Ella. I'm just going to say, if she's the only one surviving, and her older sister gone, and her younger sister gone, and her mom's gone.
Yeah, she didn't kill her then, though.
Oh, okay.
They just passed away.
Okay.
So, and then this caused her, So then when she grew up, she was married. She was 18 and she married, I think, a 59-year-old.
Woo-wee! There'd be no way, Ella. Don't even look at me.
So they actually lied on their marriage certificate.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't seem like much of an age gap. And then, she studied to become a nurse. First, she was a nurse at, what's it called? Hospital? No, it's...
Mental hospital?
Yeah.
Oh, mental hospital. Where they shocked people?
No, what's it called?
A loony bin?
No.
No. That's what I call
it's right off the tip of my tongue.
I know. Insane asylum.
Asylum.
Insane asylum.
No.
Okay,
anyway,
just asylum.
Asylum.
Okay.
So she worked as a nurse there, and then she worked as a nurse as a hospital, and
hospital. Hospital. Yes.
And eventually her husband passed away.
Right.
And then she married somebody else, and she had kids, and
I hope she didn't go too much older because he was probably already 69. She's like, I think I need a 90-year-old right now.
Yeah. And then she had one kid, and she wasn't making as much money, and her husband wasn't helping her with the kid. So she looked to baby farming, which is where it sounds weird, but it was where you would babysit kids for money. Or like
baby farming?
It sounds weird.
It does sound weird. What?
Basically, what would happen was you would give someone your child, and if you weren't well enough to take care of them, you'd give it to them and give them some money, and then they'd give the child back to you once you were well enough or once you could.
They'd farm it for you. Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a weird title. And she was very sweet about it, and then she got to the point where she couldn't handle it anymore and did what many other baby farmers did. She
went to the farmer's market.
No.
All right, Ella, coming up here shortly. Yeah, there's a break coming up, and we'll get back to this baby farming.
9.
You go ahead and do it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Da-da-da.
You're listening to the Ella and Leland Show, sponsored by Gopher Recording Studio, www.gopherrecordingstudio.com. We made all your recording needs. Okay, so that was a long outro out of that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about baby farming.
So this girl was very sweet, and she got to the point where she did what many other baby farmers did. I keep messing up my words. She would drug them up so that they would
go to sleep, not good.
Or they would die. So she ended up doing this a lot, and most times the parents wouldn't come back for the kids, and some would. And if they would, or actually, no, she would take them to the doctor and have them with a death certificate. But eventually the doctors became suspicious after 10 babies in 1 week.
Yeah, it's all 10 babies. She must have had a huge house.
And so basically, then she often moved cities, first she began disposing the bodies on her own, wrapping them up in I can't remember what it's called, tying them to a brick and throwing them in the river.
Oh my gosh, this is getting mobster style right now.
And eventually this would get to the point where she'd wait only a few weeks before she would do this to the baby, or even as soon as she got home with the baby.
Yeah.
Just so that she could get that payment. And
that's horrible.
It is. And every time she thought she was going to get in trouble, she pretended like she had a mental illness, and then they would take her to an asylum.
And they would still let her farm.
No, but what happened, since she was a nurse there before, she would know how to get
Whoa! Go ahead, Ella.
Discharged from the hospital when she was ready, because she was a nurse there one time.
Right.
So she would know what to do. And so after this, she felt like she was going to get in a lot of trouble with the law, so she frequently moved cities. And this part was really funny to me because in the newspaper she put her name as Mrs. Harding.
Is that right?
Yeah. But no, that was a fake name, though. I just thought it was such a coincidence.
My wife's name is Mrs. Harding.
Yeah.
You know, I got to tell the people when you heard that loud crash, that was the microphone falling.
It fell down. Yeah.
It does that sometimes.
Yeah.
But it scared us right at the point. Yeah. Right at the point you were do. Ah, the microphone fell out.
Yeah, and then after a long time of this, as soon as she would get home with the babies, she would take pieces of fabric, like tapes, and she would strangle the baby with them as soon as she got home. And eventually, she got caught, and she was hung. She killed over 300 infants in her life.
Is this a real story?
Yes, this is real.
You know, that's more than spooky. That's just...
Straight up bad.
Yeah, it makes my stomach turn.
Yeah.
How can anybody do that?
Yeah, she killed over 300 infants in her life.
That just goes to tell me she was insane.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't have been let out.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking she killed her sisters and her mom.
Didn't.
Oh, I don't know.
She was a good child.
Oh, yeah, she was a good child.
No, but then she got into the money. Each baby she got would give her like 5 pounds or like 16 pounds.
Yeah.
And she got that money. And that was all she cared about.
She ain't no Cinderella. She's like a Cinder Cruella.
Cinderella's dead now.
Cruella DeVille. You remember her?
I know who she is.
Yeah. She was bad news.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just crazy. She killed over 300 infants because sometimes she would receive over 10 babies a day.
Really?
Yeah, so...
You know, I'm going to go look this up now, so hopefully it's...
She was a baby farmer for like 50 years.
Do you know that word baby farmer just sounds funny, like you plant them in the ground and they pop up.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
Because that must be a turn of the century term, 1900s, baby farmer. Yeah. What do you do?
No, she was born in like 18-something, and then she died in like 19-something.
What do you do? Oh, I'm a baby farmer.
But it was actually very common. But most of the other baby farmers that would drug the babies only did that, only gave them a little bit so they would go to sleep. And then wake up. You know,
I'm sure they outlawed this.
Yeah.
Because that's just...
Yeah, and...
Here, baby, have some whiskey.
And you know what? Oh, the drug that she would use on the babies was called Mother's Friend.
Mother's Friend?
Yeah, it was specifically meant for that. That's just sad that somebody would ever make that. And you know what else? If a parent would come asking for their child back, she would give them a different baby.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How would you not know your own baby?
This one girl did, because she was like a little concerned, so she looked and there wasn't a birthmark on her hip. Yeah.
Well, let's not talk about that story anymore, because it's making me gloomy and sad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something happy, like, so you are getting super excited for racing season.
Yes.
You told me last night, you told Mom you wanted a hamburger from the racetrack.
Yes, they are so good. They have these hamburgers at Casino Speedway, and if you just put some pickles and some tomatoes and some ketchup, oh, it's so good.
I'm getting hungry now.
Yeah, and then we can go get some peanuts and cotton candy, and it's super good.
Reminds me of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I don't even know how that song
Wait, how does it? Take me out to the...
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that.
Yeah. I'm super excited this year because basically what we do, since we don't have that much time left, I'll just explain what we do. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday in the summer, me and my mom will leave for Watertown at around like 2-3 o'clock. And by the time we get there and go to my grandparents' house and then grab the racing purse, the blankets, everything we need, extra clothes, we'll go to Casino Speedway. And by the time we get there, it's around like 5:30, 5:15, and racing only starts at 6:30. So me and my mom, we'll immediately go get drinks. If we're hungry, we'll get something to eat. Grab 2 bags of peanuts and usually cotton candy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then me and my mom will, or if it's super hot out, we'll grab ices too. And then me and my mom will walk to Lake Kempesca, and I'll grab rocks to tumble.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Cool. That's
and then
very
enjoy
cool.
The rest of the night.
I like how you say racing purse. I've never seen this racing purse ever in my life.
Yeah.
But we're about ready to go out here,
yep.
Ella. We tell you we love you. Yep. Jesus Christ loves you more than anything.
Yep.
And we'll be talking to you next time on the next episode of the Ella and Leland Show.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye. You've been listening to the Ella and Leland Show, brought to you by Gopher Recording Studio. www.goatrecordingstudio.com, making dreams a reality.